Denon Home 150 Review. If you're looking for a true smart speaker, then the Home 150 has the promise of Alexa built-in. But if you're looking for a sound system with lots of features, the Denon AVR-X 7100 is better. Denon's Home series of speakers is their answer to Sonos' dominance of the multi-room audio market. Denon certainly had the pedigree, and both Home 350 and Home 250 speakers delivered. The Home 150 has the same look as its larger siblings but isn't quite as minimalistic as the Sonos one. Inside there's a single mono amplifier powering a 25mm tweeter, and a pair of Class D power amps driving a 25mm woofer. It has a built-in speaker, which is covered by fabric, and includes preset buttons, volume control, and playback control. When you hover over the unit, infrared LEDs light up its control buttons. At the bottom, there is a small LED indicator that lights up when connected to an audio device via Bluetooth. It turns green for pairing, orange for updates, and red if the connection has failed. You can change its brightness in the HEIS app too. On the back panel, there's an Ethernet port, USB port, auxiliary input, and a Bluetooth enable switch. Its mains power, but the cable is long enough so you don't need to be too close to a main socket. The Home 150 isn't meant to be eye-catching, it's the sound quality that makes it stand out. After taking over 2.5 years, Denon finally has native speech recognition. If you're an Amazon Echo user, you can now talk to Home 150 and it will actually answer back. With the HEIS mobile application, users can control their entire system from one device. With its integrated Spotify, TuneIn, Deezer, Amazon, Napster, SoundCloud, Tidal, and EQ settings, customization options, and customization features, including real-time optimization of audio quality, the JBL Pulse 3 sounds great for any type of listening experience. The HEIS system is a simple but functional user experience that doesn't include some of the advanced features found on the Sonos control apps. It supports streaming services including, apart from Spotify, music libraries, searches, and playlists can be accessed through the HEIS system. A HEIS account needs to be set up for full functionality. With its Home app, Apple TV, and iOS devices, the Home 150 supports Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.2, and AirPlay 2. It has a slight delay when playing music via AirPlay, but it works well enough for most people. It supports MP3, AAC, WMA, Hi-Res, WAV, ALAC, and DSD 2.4 2.8 MHz. They can be streamed over the network or through the rear USB ports. With the Denon Home 150 speakers, you can use them as a pair or add them to the Denon Home Soundbar 550 to create a 5-channel surround sound setup. Despite its small stature, the Home 150 is an impressive sounding loudspeaker. It's not the wide-sounding one out there, but it does pack plenty of punch for a compact system. Compared to the One S, it's bolder in its presentation but doesn't offer the subtlety of the larger Sonos. Vocals are articulately produced, pushing them forward from their surroundings. Jill Scott's voice golden is convincingly recreated, the Home 150 capturing its breathy tones and inflection. Volume can be a little trickier to judge than you might think. One thing to keep in mind is that mastering engineers often work with the same songs multiple times before they find something that works for them. Also, make sure that any streaming apps you use aren't limiting the amount of data being sent to your speakers. You should also consider how much power your amplifier is putting out. Some amplifiers put out more wattage than others, so depending on where you live, you may need to adjust the output accordingly. There's a good feeling of rising and falling throughout the album. The sweeping sound of Ennio Morricone's The Untouchables is brought out by the Home 150 retreating during quiet moments before springing into action, underlining its heroic character. The tone is very important in music. A song can sound great if it has a strong melody, but if it doesn't match the mood of the lyrics, then it won't work. When writing a song, it's best to think about how each part of the song should fit together. You might start out thinking about your vocal performance, but once you've written down the chords, you'll find yourself singing along without realizing it. A lot of people think that they can just buy a new phone every year and expect it to get better and better. But if your phone gets slow after a couple of years, you're probably not getting any faster hardware. You might be able to get a newer operating system, but what's actually happening is that your software is becoming outdated. Sonos remains the big elephant in the room, but if we put that aside, the Denon Home 150 delivers a lively, smooth and loud performance, which is good enough for most people.